Canada.
Not really.
This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Anthony.
Jeff.
Have you ever answered that age-old question of which superpower would you want, flying or invisibility?
Sure. And we've all come to terms with the fact that invisibility is the creep power.
Yeah, and invisibility is the I guess traditionally is the introvert power, where you can sort of get away with things, do things, go against social norms, and do that with anonymity.
It just feels like the creep power. It feels like you're sneaking around. Like, I understand it if somebody offered me invisibility, like say some sort of wizard or scientist or alien or wherever you get invisibility from. Sometimes you flip a coin and it lands on its edge, and that's how you get invisibility.
Is that so? I wasn't aware of that way.
Look it up. Yeah, the scientist Rod Serling came up with that, and it's true. So, but I think invisibility is like, now I can hear what people are saying, or now I can spy, or now I can do this without. Literally, I can do these things without being seen, and so it just feels to me a little bit like the creep power.
Yeah, it is, especially if you've seen that new Invisible Man movie, where basically it's like, hey, what if Invisible Man is the villain in this whole story?
Well, that's sort of been, aside from the Chevy Chase memoirs of an Invisible Man, the idea has always been that the invisibility turns the Invisible Man a little bit psychotic. That's always been, yeah. Well,
you said you wanted a wizard or a coin or a scientist to give you the power. Well,
that old children's game, Wizard, Coin, or Scientist.
yeah. Which one are you going to fuck? Which one are you going to marry? Which one are you going to kill? Well, let me introduce you to the scientist that's working on this here problem. He may end up being
a wizard.
The scientist working on becoming a wizard? Yeah. No, he's working on becoming the scientist that delivers invisibility to everybody, or at least allowing human skin to become transparent at will. There's been a recent breakthrough on this topic, and a article about it was sent to us.
That's not the same, Jeff. That's not the same.
Your skin turns invisible.
That literally exposes all of the gross parts.
Well, baby steps, baby.
That creepy PBS show, the guy who had like Slim Goodbody, that was his name.
Yeah.
Slim Goodbody, and he wore the body stocking that had all his organs and weird shit.
That's that guy.
Yeah, that's not invisibility, my dude.
Well, it's partial invisibility.
It's the wrong part.
Well, that's what we're working on. We got an article sent to us by our friend Mark Knuffer.
Dude comes out on stage and he's like, "Behold!" And everybody's like, "No, we would rather not."
I see your spleen.
Ooh, this is not what but I'm invisible. You get it?
I can see things I don't want to see.
Yeah, but you can't really see me though.
I see what you ate. It's in your lower intestine, and it's foul.
Sure, and it was like, listen, some days you got to grab some drive-through before you talk to a group of elementary school kids about your scientific breakthrough. But just because
that's entirely too much jerky.
Listen, number one, jerky is a very, very, very good source of lean protein, depending on what kind of jerky you get. And number two, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is you can see the jerky, but you can't see me. I created invisibility. Dad, go home. Dad, I changed my
mind. Bring your father's innards to school day.
Well, I brought enough jerky for the class, so I'll take my leave. But do feel free to enjoy the jerky. I can't anymore.
I'll never enjoy jerky again.
Mark, no nickname Nuffer, you're saying?
Mark, no nickname Nuffer sent this posted this on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/we have concerns.
Nailed it.
And this is a story about a scientist that's actually using our old friends, the cephalopods.
What do you mean, friends?
Fuck
a cephalopod.
They may turn out to be the ones that give us the gift of transparency. You know what I'm saying?
I won't take any gift a cephalopod offers me. Okay? And number one, I do believe they are smart enough to offer gifts, but I only believe that they are smart enough to offer gifts as a trick. That's it.
One hand giveth, 7 hands taketh away. Is that what you're saying?
One tentacle giveth, 7 tentacles slice you to bits with their razor sharp stickers.
Yeah. Well, allow me to introduce you to Alan Gorodetsky from the University of California at Irvine, who is checking out a very specific cephalopod, a squid called the opalescent inshore squid. This is a squid that is largely transparent, but has the ability to change its skin color at will. It can turn it like almost a bright white at will. The best thing about these cephalopods, these squid, this inshore squid, is the reason that they have this transparency, the reason that they are able to turn from transparent skin into opaque skin. The entire function of this in their bodies is for the female of the species to just get left alone. Just fucking leave me alone, males.
Wow.
Let me tell you how this works. Basically, they are in their default state. Their skin
just
is
fuck off, dudes.
Just fuck off, dudes.
Hey, dudes, just fuck off.
In their default states, their skin is mostly transparent, but the males have white testes that you can see through their skin. The testes do not change color. They stay white even though they are transparent. And the females turn a strip of their bodies white to make it look like they have testes, so that males will leave them the fuck alone.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? They deter aggressive males by transforming their normally transparent tissue into white tissue, so it looks like the males are like, oh, sorry, didn't know you were a dude.
Do you know
sorry.
How many women I know have told me they just wish they could turn invisible, or not be recognized as being a woman?
This is basically the inverse of that. Solves the problem in an inverse way. You know,
it's I love it.
We're invisible all the time right now. I just want you to know. I want you to leave. I just need you to back the fuck off, aggressive male.
That is crazy.
It's pretty good. Okay,
it's really good. Now that's a superpower. We were talking about invisibility versus flight. That's a superpower. The power to just be left alone.
Yeah. It's like the female is like, oh, you want to get all up on this? How about you get all up on D's nuts?
Is that what it's like?
I guess, I don't know. That's
it's kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Anyway, so the experiment here is to
for a dude who doesn't know the difference between tequila and vodka, sometimes you get real fratty, and I don't know where it comes from, but I love it. I love it. It's so incongruous to the rest of your personality, and I fucking love it.
So here's how this works. These things have cells that are called lucifer cells, and these are the cells that can change their refractive
evil cells.
Their
cells made a deal with the devil.
They have a thing called a refractive index, which tells you how transparent or where the light bounces off them or goes through them. Yeah. Now, humans evidently have a refractive index on our skin of 1.4. Air has a refractive index of 1. So the whole premise of the original book, The Invisible Man, where H.G. Wells says that this guy figured out how to become invisible. The whole premise of that was that this scientist figures out how to match his refractive index to that of air, and therefore becomes indistinguishable from it. So the science underneath that H.G. Wells novel is basically sound. Like, theoretically, if you could do that, that's what would happen. And basically, that's what these cephalopods do, is that they change their refractive index. They basically, let me find it. 1 second.
So basically,
what happens?
Visibility is an effect of light reflecting and bouncing off of surfaces.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing a low refractive index, because the low refractive index would be something like still water or air or something like that, just means that light doesn't bounce off of you.
Yeah, it literally measures the speed at which light can travel through material.
Okay.
And these squid have a protein that can get closer together or farther apart to allow light to pass through it or to scatter more light.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically what this scientist, Gorodetsky, did is he took this protein and injected it into human embryonic kidney cells, which are naturally transparent anyway, but he grew them in a dish after genetically engineering them. And he created this, he put this reflectin protein that's in the squid into the kidney, and then changed the salt content of the solution that those kidney cells were sitting in. And they watched the kidney cells with the naked human eye. They could see this. They didn't even need to look under a microscope. They could see it change its transparency, basically become...
Oh my God. All we need to do is inject ourselves with these cells and constantly be in a cylinder of salt water.
It's just that easy.
And no one will see you coming. They might see your assistants wheeling the giant barrel of salt water.
Yeah, but they'll think it's an empty barrel of salt water, and then that's where you've got them.
We got a saltwater delivery here for you. Oh, the saltwater. You're not the normal saltwater delivery guy.
I don't remember.
No, he's sick.
I could have sworn we got saltwater delivered just yesterday.
Yeah, we got tons of saltwater. You sure? Yeah, your boss said that you need double the saltwater. Listen, I could take the salt water away, but I'm gonna have to call your boss.
Listen, I don't want to get him upset. I'm sure this is all on the up and up. Just set that salt water over there next to that pile of rusty knives that I keep in the corner.
And the right there by the pile of leaves and the big cardboard box that's labeled oranges.
That's right.
All right, I'll just put it over here. 5 art thieves come out at night after everything turns off. What do we want to do with this, Jeff? What do we want other than to creep people out?
Well, I would like to read you the line that really kind of put all this in perspective for me. And let's just say...
And it's when this guy, Gorodetsky, said, I just want to rob banks. He was just like, I just want to rob a bank once in my life.
Yeah. This is what really made a chill go up my spine. They said that this could have effects on surgeries. We could actually they could become more transparent to be able to look at underneath tissue underneath other tissues. You could turn some tissue transparent and then look underneath it. And then they said, or it could have powerful ramifications in the world of plastic surgery.
Powerful ramifications in the world of plastic surgery.
So the idea
I'm trying to
here,
put this together. Give me a second. Give me a second, because I want to try to put this together.
Yeah.
Powerful ramifications in the world of plastic surgery. I can't imagine they're talking about permanently turning any tissue invisible. They must be talking about, like, I don't know, seeing bone structure underneath places that people want to... I don't know. God, I can't...
Yeah.
What? Why?
Well, it is definitely not permanent, because we can already do that. I think we actually did a story way back when about how we turned a mouse's brain brain tissue transparent, or not, the tissue surrounding the brain transparent, so we could see the brain.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that? We can flip on this translucency in tissue pretty easily. It's the being able to turn it on and turn it off that's pretty cool, because what this guy was doing is
we turned that mouse invisible, and he was invisible forever.
And you lost the mouse. He's like, I knew I had a mouse around here somewhere.
Not only did he lose the mouse, but the mouse could no longer be seen by its friends or family. It could no longer meet up with its little D&D group every week.
It wasn't even sure if it was under the same bright star anymore, you know?
Oh my God.
It's somewhere out there, but we don't know where.
Sad little mouse.
No, but we can turn it off permanently. It's the thing this guy was doing is changing the salt content so that it would match, go back and forth. Translucent, opaque, translucent, opaque. So one of the, I think, altruistic interpretations of this plastic surgery, and I think the word actually was cosmetic surgery. I said plastic surgery, but I meant cosmetic surgery. Yeah, one of the altruistic applications of cosmetic surgery would be if someone had scar tissue that they no longer wanted and it was inoperable or operations caused it and it was at a point where you really couldn't get any better. You could maybe make that tissue invisible, and so you kind of erase it from being seen. It's still there, but it is not. That is, I think, interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. But it says you could either help hide a scar or, quote, create different types of visual effects on the body.
Now we're getting into the shit I like.
Right?
Now we're getting into that shit. Listen, I've said many, many times before, blue skin and wings. That's all I want. Right. Blue skin and wings. That's it. Night vision. That's it. I just want to be a horrible sky predator. That's all.
It's simple.
That's all.
Simple requests.
And I would love, man, how crazy would that be if we have people like, I've decided I want visible biceps.
Yeah.
Or I want like people to be able to see the tissue of my face, but not what my face looks like. Yes. That's crazy cool. Man, that's some cyberpunk shit right there.
That is. I don't even know of any cyberpunk that's kind of gone there. That's a fascinating idea. And it also theoretically is the kind of thing where, like, tonight I want you to see the innards of my face.
Tonight
I'm going to work tomorrow.
My darling, tonight I want you to see the innards of my face. I want to hide nothing from you. No, you can hide it from me. No, you can hide it. No.
No, tonight you see my soul.
Tonight you see my soul.
I mean my lower intestine full of jerky.
Full of jerky. I don't need to. We're in love. Some things, keep a little mystery. You know what I mean?
Oh. Tomorrow morning, I will go to work and I will have a fully opaque face.
Well, but you could have it. No, you could have it tonight too.
Tonight, I want you to see into my eyes.
No, that's.
But I say, I want you to see into my eyes.
No,
There's
I know
something past my eyes.
No, I know it's your brain. I know
it's my brain.
I get it. You don't need to do it.
That's where I think my thoughts of love, and I want you to see it.
Because I just bought sexy underwear.
Also nice.
Yeah.
But have you seen my heart?
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Could you imagine, like,
amazing
patches of your body that are just translucent for a while?
Yes, I can.
I'm in, right?
I'm kind of in. And I hate, listen, maybe I bring too many things back to the Chevy Chase classic, Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Maybe I do.
Yeah, welcome to our Memoirs of Invisible Man fan podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
But there is a scene where he's like, they show him like chewing gum, and they show him like drinking juice, and they show him like throwing up, and it was like, that was dope. I don't remember much else about the movie, but I remember the Invisible Man eating and drinking, and I was like, this is cool as hell. I
mean, I think it would do wonders for 6-year-old birthday parties, right? Like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Carboni is here with us, and you walk in, and you're like,
I used to be a scientist. But let me tell you something, kids.
But now you're a wizard. Now you're a wizard.
People don't respect that, and so now I'm a birthday wizard. Let me watch me.
Juice.
I'll drink the orange juice, and I'm gonna eat a half a pound of jerky, and that's not a magic power. That's just something I enjoy doing. This is great. So, I mean, I would imagine though, this is, I don't know why. Is this easy and cheap to do? I can't imagine. No, because this is the injecting of.
Yeah, there's lots of experimentation that's done. This is just at the beginning. They did it to a few, a tiny embryonic kidney in a dish. Yeah. And they surrounded it with salt. It's just showing that it is theoretically possible to have human tissue behave in this way.
Love it.
But, we're a ways off. We're a ways off.
can't wait. I can't wait for my blue skin and my wings and my invisible fucking facial tissue. I want to be a horrible blue skeleton flying down at you from the sky. That's all I want.
Oh, that's such a great idea, dude. Every Halloween, we all turn off everything in our bodies.
Every Thursday, my dude. Halloween. You're thinking too small.
It's true. It's true, I am.
You're thinking too small, baby. We're flying blue skeletons all the time now.
I feel like you owe cephalopods an apology, though. I mean, this is all due to their...
No, this is...
we're slaughtering them.
This is us using their technology against them.
Oh, I see.
That's what this is. We're using the alien technology against them in order to destroy them and stop them from taking over.
This is who we're delivering our vats of salt water to. It's the cephalopod army. Mm-hmm. And we are then jumping out like a SEAL team.
Yeah, they're all like
invisible.
They're all like in Krang bodies.
Exactly.
They're all here, and they're in Krang bodies already.
And that's just how we get them. That's how we get them. We use their technology against them. They'll never see it coming.
They're
not smart enough.
They will literally never see it coming.
And their last words will be, "Our gifts."
Our
the
gifts
that they gave us.
against us. Shredder.
We should never have given you our gifts.
Shredder, you fool. Folks, we're an award-winning science podcast.
Indeed.
And listen, there are very few science shows out there. We might be the last science show left. We don't know.
We don't know. There's no way of knowing.
We can only speculate. There's no listen, let us tell you this as an award-winning science podcast. There's no way to collect data.
There's no way to do an A/B comparison. There's no way to do a survey of all the science podcasts. We can only listen to this one
because we assume there aren't any. Where would we even Where would we even send it? The only science podcast left is this one, and thank God, because it's an award-winning science podcast, and the only way we support ourselves is through what we like to call the PBS model. Kids, ask your parents. But basically, you head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns, and you give us your money.
That's right. And we give you a tote bag. Wait,
we don't give you a tote bag.
No. Okay.
No, physical things are a little tricky. We don't give you a tote bag, but what we do give you is we give you bonus episodes. We give you patron hangouts where we all get together on cam and chat and just chill. And we also give you behind the scenes seats to live recording sessions. Why, in today's live recording session was full of drama. So much drama.
Oh my goodness. Take that, PBS. You can't deliver that kind of minute-to-minute drama.
Fuck you, PBS. It's about time somebody said it. It's about time somebody said, fuck the public broadcasting service.
Yeah, nobody's trying to defund them.
Nobody. They're those fat cats at PBS are taking all the money. If you were listening to the live recording session, there were alarms pulled. There were emergency things happening. I got groceries delivered. There's so much stuff happening right now. And
Jeff sat silently for a while. It was amazing.
It was amazing. And it's this kind of stuff that you can only get if you head to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns and give us your money.
Give us your money. I mispronounced my own name just then. Did you hear me do that?
No.
I couldn't say my own name. I called myself Jaff just now.
Old Jaff Knerder?
Jaff Knerder.
Jeff, I've got a story for you.
Please.
It comes to us from Alik the Golfer Evans.
The golfer getting another hole in one.
The golfer is back, baby, and it's about the noble horseshoe crab.
Ooh, we got another creature of the sea. We got a themed episode tonight.
That's right. We planned it. We plan all of these things in advance. We're an award-winning science podcast. Yes, the horseshoe crab, Jeff. I don't know if you know much about the horseshoe crab. I know a little bit about it.
It's a crab that plays horseshoes. We all know it well. It's close only counts, they say, with the horseshoe crab.
That's the one. That's exactly the one, and that's exactly the information. I only know a little bit about the horseshoe crab because of Animal Crossing. I've caught one. Blathers the Owl told me a little bit about it. But here's something Blathers the Owl, that sweet, sweet protector of culture in a world that is lost. Everything to Blathers first. People who don't spend enough time at their museums in Animal Crossing, if you don't donate everything to Blathers First, you're a nightmare garbage person. There, I said it.
All right.
There, I said it.
I love it when we do tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks, and I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 warheads. The horseshoe crab, something Blathers did not tell me about it, is that we need its blood, Jeff, and we're running out of horseshoe crabs because of our insatiable need for their blood.
Oh, that does seem like an Animal Crossing resource. I hear people talking about their turnips and their horseshoe crab blood.
It takes 5 liters of horseshoe crab blood and 2 branches to make an ornate dining table. So
that's just science.
That's just science of Animal Crossing. No, so I'll tell you this. We need the horseshoe crab's blood. Can you guess what we need it for, Jeff?
Oh, God.
Don't say dark rituals, because you'd think it would be dark rituals. That's where I would, but it's not. It's not. It's sort of a dark ritual.
Are we giving it to some other creature? Are we using it as bait for something? Are we raising?
We do use it as we use entire horseshoe crabs as bait in the fishing industry for sure. But they don't.
Okay.
They don't go blood specific for that. Using them as bait is definitely a big problem. But we use their blood, Jeff, for the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, their blood is useful to us in some ways.
We're not just using the blood for play then.
It's not just a frivolous blood use. I was expecting some sort of frivolity.
Little bit of fun about the blood.
We're not, because usually, let's be honest. Usually when I hear you, Anthony Carboni, famed science podcaster, say we need your blood, usually it means we want your blood. It doesn't, the need, you kind of overstate need sometimes.
No.
And in this sense, I thought the needing of the blood felt more like, we strongly want your blood.
I do appreciate and also hoard blood. Sure. Sure. But that's not what this is about. This is about pharmaceuticals specifically.
Please don't tell me it's penis pills.
It's mostly penis pills, unfortunately. But we need them. We need them for those penises.
Damn it.
I
really thought this was going in a very, very posipositive direction. But
it's not penis pills.
Oh, good.
At least it's not. Penis pills are not listed in the article. That doesn't mean...
We're not going to rule them out.
I'm not going to rule out penis pills until I hear otherwise. But basically what happens is the horseshoe crab has incredibly copper-rich blood.
Sweet.
And it is used to make a very sensitive indicator of bacteria. Basically, we can see and sense bacteria and basically create vaccinations. We can identify contaminants in medical equipment before surgical operations. We can see if pacemaker fittings are going to work because of this particular lysate that comes in the horseshoe crab's blood. It's basically like, it's a natural indicator test for bacteria, and it's so much more sensitive than our own blood is.
I've been wasting my own blood on this when I could have been using much more sensitive horseshoe crab blood?
I've been spritzing everything in my house with my own blood just to see if there's bacteria there. And the answer is there's bacteria on everything, and also I'm very woozy.
Now there's blood on everything, and it's going to be a hell to explain to my landlord.
But we use so much of this stuff, Jeff. The lysate from the crab's blood is gram for gram now one of the most valuable liquids on Earth.
Wow.
Give me the going price. Give me your guess for a gallon of processed crab blood.
Well, first of all, I need to know how many horseshoe crabs make up a gallon of blood. How many?
It's more than one. You know what I mean?
It's definitely more than one.
It's more than one.
Going right. I'm gonna
less than 100. Like, more than one.
Like a gallon of gas. A gallon of gas.
That's fair. That's valuable.
Yeah, I mean, crude oil is less than a gallon of gas, right? Because you got to make gas from it. You got to make a profit. Gallon of gas is what, like around $3.5, $4.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going to say a gallon, and it's going to be more than that because most valuable liquid on the planet. I'm going to say a gallon of blood. Let's go with $20.
A gallon of processed lysate goes between $35,000 and $60,000 per gallon.
Holy shit.
Because remember, in medical testing,
I gotta give me some of that fucking blood.
I just gotta get out there and I gotta get me some fucking crab blood.
I love that our show can be both a science podcast and a get rich quick scheme. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. All I need is a pontoon boat and a fucking net, and we are gonna be wealthy motherfuckers. Okay?
Let's go get us about 15 to 20,000 horseshoe crabs. We'll farm their blood.
Yep.
Just rip them right open, drain their blood.
Process it.
In our apartments. Yeah.
Process the lysate.
Get it out there on the market.
I don't know what it takes to process the lysate. A centrifuge, maybe?
Oh, I'm thinking it's probably a Bunsen burner involved in some way.
A centrifuge and a Bunsen burner. It's worth it. It's worth it for the return on investment. No, remember, the reason why this is so expensive per gallon is when we're talking about bacteria and looking at bacteria and changes in bacteria, that's microscopic. So they only need a little bit of this blood to run every test. So a gallon of this stuff is a ton of medical testing, right?
Yeah.
Here's the problem. U.S. pharmaceutical companies catch more than 430,000 horseshoe crabs each year, puncture the shell near the heart, harvest 30% of their blood, and then return them to the wild.
They don't notice any difference. I'm sure they just go back and somebody's like, "Hey, Harvey, you got a hole in your chest."
Nah, what? That's crazy. That's crazy,
are you okay?
Man. I'm a little dizzy. I'm a little dizzy. That's so weird. Do you think two's connected?
You're certainly not acting like yourself, buddy. I mean, I love you, and ooh, look at that bait over there. I'm gonna go have some of that. Good.
I would not maybe or do. I don't remember much. All the college-aged ones are like giving 30% of their blood to medical testing and then going out drinking.
Yeah. And they drink a beer, and it's like the Invisible Man. It just pops out the whole.
Yeah, it's like Yosemite Sam in that Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah,
he just drinks a beer on that train, and it just starts coming out of all the holes. Here's the problem: studies show between 5% and 20% of the horseshoe crabs that are bled will die in the process. So we're returning them. We're returning them to the ocean, but 1 in 5 of them is probably going to die.
We don't want them to die.
We don't want them to die. We just need their blood.
We just have to have their blood. Our goal is to have 0 of them die.
Listen, science is a lot like a vampire with a soul. You know what I mean? We don't want them to die. We just need their blood. And sometimes we take too much because the frenzy. And we don't mean it.
We keep going a little too long.
We keep going a little longer and longer every time. And it's harder and harder to control. You know what I mean? But we want to keep our humanity. And it's mostly for the testing. We don't just want it. We want, it's for the testing.
Yes,
it's for good.
It's for the testing.
So 5 to 20%. 5 to 20% of these will die. And then surviving females, actually, it becomes more difficult for them to breed after the process. And it doesn't really go into...
Yeah, they got a hole in their fucking heart.
Yeah, it's because of partially the hole in their heart. But also it just kind of like the recovery and... replenishing and all this stuff, it just changes them biologically a little bit, and it makes them less likely to breed. Now,
can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I've tried to breed with a few females that have a hole in their heart. You know what I'm saying?
Buddy, that's exactly my type. That is 100% my type. Am I going to change it? I keep telling my therapist I will. Do I mean it? Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
I know what you're saying.
So here's the thing, though. Far more of them are killed by bait collection. A huge number of them have been dying because of coastal development and global warming. So this is not the only reason the horseshoe crab is dying off, but it is a major reason.
Their entire existence is a nightmarish hellscape fraught with peril.
Yeah.
We are just one tiny part of that insofar as we are all of those things.
Yeah, but we're a tiny part of it because we're the cause of every part of it. But we don't perpetuate violence directly on the horseshoe crab in all of them, just 2/3 of them. Does that make sense?
Some of them.
Does that make sense?
Oh, I think we're in the clear.
Mostly, yeah. I think we're mostly in the clear. They were actually put on the vulnerable list by the International Union for the Conservation of Nature in 2016. So they're not endangered yet, but they're getting there. So here's an interesting thing. There are synthetic replacements for horseshoe crab blood.
How do we make those?
Children. No, no. There are. There's a man-made version called recombinant factor C, and basically it's a synthetic blood that is copper rich. It basically is a replacement for this lysate, and it can be used in all the medical testing that actual horseshoe crab blood can be used in. Here's the problem.
It seems like the problem is it's going to crash our horseshoe blood economy, and just as we've begun investing in the horseshoe blood cultivation and farming that we plan on doing.
That's kind of it. It's kind of it. It's kind of like the horseshoe crab blood industry is pretty big. And it is one of the most valuable liquids on Earth. So they do have a lot of money. And
you're saying that big horseshoe crab blood is upset about this?
I'm saying big horseshoe blood is actually stopping this from happening, because what happens is there are genuine concerns about this, right? We're not using the real thing. We're using a synthetic. We're using a replacement. And there hasn't been tons and tons of studies on what the exact differences are, right down to every little thing, right? We know that it basically works. But in order to use it right now, you need to jump through a few more hoops in getting your tests approved. Now, the problem with that is smaller pharmaceutical companies, smaller medical laboratories, and keep in mind, small, when you're talking about medical laboratories and pharmaceuticals, is still big money. It's not worth the extra expense for them.
It's not easy, like capturing a horseshoe crab, puncturing its heart, draining its blood, and then dumping it back in the ocean.
It's not, because you gotta do 2 or 3 more tests. You gotta make sure everything's up to snuff. You gotta submit more papers. It ends up costing more. And the only large pharmaceutical company in the States that's using it, according to this article, is Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly is using it, but Eli Lilly is fucking huge, which means this stuff is only cheaper. Recombinant factor C is only cheaper when you're using it at that scale.
Yeah.
That's when it starts saving you money. Now, the Swiss firm or the Belgian firm that makes recombinant factor C has been like, dude, we will donate this. We will donate fake blood. We will give you discounts. We will find a way to subsidize this if you start using it, because they know if they can get more people to start using it, they'll have more data, and eventually we'll be able to replace it, right? And then they'll be able to
If there's one thing I know about blood, it's that the first taste is free, and then after that, they've got you. And then, once you take our blood for free this time, and then now I'm hooked on blood.
Just a little bit of blood, and then you wake up in the middle of the night with the hunger. You're you're floating 3 to 4 inches off of your bed.
Yeah.
You hear the howling.
You gotta get it.
Oh, it's the brightness. It's like turn down the lights, and then the woman that you date that has a hole in her heart tells you it's just a nightlight. It's literally just a tiny little nightlight. It's barely on.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why am I? Oh, it's the pain. That's what we know about blood.
You never trusted her anyway.
I never trusted her anyway because she has a hole in her heart. So yeah, but here's the thing, even if they start using this synthetic blood and we start saving the horseshoe crab, what happens when everybody's using this synthetic blood that this Belgian company has the patent on? Now all of a sudden the synthetic blood is $40,000 a gallon, right? There's no there's no humanitarian endgame, unfortunately, in this. There's a short-term endgame that's humanitarian.
Right. Yeah.
But it's very, very strange to me. So yeah, we are killing horseshoe crabs because we just desperately need their blood, Jeff.
It's nothing personal, horseshoe crab.
It's just the business, baby. It's the blood business.
It's the blood business. Sometimes
my father was in the blood business and his father before him. All the way back to Vlad the Impaler. I mean, my great-great-great-grandfather, who was not that guy I just listed. But I think that's so fascinating that, because we often talk about the cost of animal testing in different ways, but it didn't occur to me that we're not just like, of course we're not using human blood in tests.
Right.
Of course we're not.
Yeah. Also, it's so fascinating to me that there is one specific creature that is best suited for this, and there isn't a spectrum of creatures, right? There aren't a bunch of things in the wild that all work well. There's one specific creature that is best at this, and so we will kill it by the hundreds of thousands and drain its blood. It's
and it's not like
wild.
you would think that people would be looking into, and maybe they are, maybe the article isn't getting into this, but like, how much of that blood can you mix with, you know, a synthetic or blood from another animal that's maybe like compatible or something, like, you know what I mean? To sort of like, is there a way where, but I would imagine that the test results they get out of this are just so clear and quick compared to any other thing on Earth, that it's like we have to use this or everything comes grinding to a halt.
It's wild to me that at some point someone has looked at every creature we've ever discovered and gone, what's this one useful for? You know, can we eat it? Nah, I can't eat it.
That guy is well adjusted. He did not burn ants with a magnifying glass when he was a kid, or pulled a wing off a beetle, or any of that stuff. It's just a super normal guy, and he doesn't want to study blood. He just does.
He just, you know, this is where my path led me. You know, you can't choose your fate. Sometimes you go to the blood, and sometimes the blood trickles to you. You know what I'm saying?
The delicious, delicious blood. And when I say you can't choose your fate, I mean the animals that come to me. I choose their fate. Anyway, science is creepy as always. That's the reminder this week, I think, is that science is creepy.
Why are they called the horseshoe crab? Do they look like horseshoes, or are they
they
is
look
it like a metaphor for luck?
Yeah, if you look at them, they look like little horseshoe shaped. They're actually not even crabs. They're not even crustacean. They're just sort of like, they're just called that because whoever found them.
Blood sacks.
Yeah, because they kind of just, they look a little bit like crabs, because, you know, if you look at a crab and you look at a horseshoe crab, it's like, yeah, shell on top, shell on bottom, came from ocean. Sure. Crab. Yeah. But that's just sort of the colloquial
That's
name.
another thing I love, by the way, is how many times human beings have misnamed something and then there's no backsies.
Oh.
There's no backsies on naming things.
My dude.
We just looked at that and went, that looks like look at that. That looks like a crab. I've seen crabs and that looks like one.
Definitely crab.
Let's call it a crab. Also looks like a horseshoe. All right, Carl. Horseshoe crab. You got it. Forever known that way.
Forever known.
And then you realize later, not a crab, not a horseshoe. We've made a horrible mistake, but it's too late.
It can't
no
be used for either. And now we have no backsies. Folks, these are the thoughts and the musings of an award-winning science podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, and thanks to everybody who came by the patron hangout last night.
So fun.
We had some technical issues because of the world and the internet in the world, but it was still a great time. Everybody got to hang out. We chatted for a good long while.
Yeah. And we've become really a close-knit group of friends. It's lovely how people come and share, and we all are trying to work through the world as it is now. And I feel very close to the people that were on that call, and I appreciate them very, very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, if you want to join us for those hangouts, or you want to hang out on the Discord where we can chat about episodes, chat about whatever you want, we got a channel for just about everything. You can find out how to do that at patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. And one quick favor, if we might ask it, we've been back for a little while now, and we're still seeing a lot of people go, oh my gosh, are you back? Baby, we need you to John Wick for us. We need you to tell everybody that you're guessing we're back.
We're back. Yeah, I think we need to spread that word. There's folks, I was shocked that people are like, hey, you know what podcast I used to listen to and I really loved back in the day is that We Have Concerns. And then I see my name tagged there on the Twitter and I go, I got good news for you.
Good news for you.
We're back.
So if you've been liking the episodes, if you have been liking the show since it came back, help us out, spread the word, let people know, retweet an episode, tweet an episode, talk about it to your friends. That is the bestest way to help us out.
It's also the only way we have.
Well, that and give us your money. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, that.